The views and opinions expressed in this program are solely those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Cosplay Alliance, our partners and affiliates. This episode of the Cosplay Alliance podcast may contain coarse language or sensitive subject matters. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Cosplay Alliance podcast. Tonight's roundtable discussion. We will be doing a podcast roundtable discussion once a month. People around the world, and we want to build a more inclusive community. So what I want everybody to do now is to introduce themselves from left to right, starting with Harley Knox.
Hi, I'm Harley. Or you can just yell something that starts with an H at me. I generally respond to pretty much anything. I've been cosplaying since like 2012-ish. And I've been recently guesting at conventions, and just I love building community and making friends and nerding out. I'm just a dork in a costume. That's literally it.
Is that me?
Yep, you're up next.
Yeah, you're up.
Hey, my name is Shake Your Fun, but you can call me Tay because it's easier to say. I've been cosplaying for a little over 7 years now. I just started taking it a bit more seriously for the last year or two. And I'm a big advocate for plus size cosplayers and body positivity. And I just like, I like dabbling into different crafts and learning how to foam or how to like craft out of foam. And yeah.
Nice. That's better. I'm looking at everybody.
Sir Julius.
Yeah.
Can you hear?
Yeah.
Yes, we can. Yep.
We can't hear you. Yeah, we can't hear.
Oh.
I can't hear Julius.
Oh, maybe not. Yeah.
Oh no.
All right, we'll go to Lily, then we'll come back to Julius.
Not again.
Wait, I
Lily,
can't hear
you're
Lily either.
muted.
You're muted.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
I just
Unmute.
Thank you. Hey, it's Lily, and I'm a New York City cosplayer. I've been cosplaying since 2015, and next year will be my 10-year anniversary at New York Comic-Con, and I'm like, what? Wow. Time's really flown by. It's been awesome connecting with others in the community and cosplay enthusiasts, and it's really awesome to be here.
Awesome.
I'm Saphira Cosplay. I've been cosplaying for about 7 years on and off. More seriously in the last couple years. I compete in craftsmanship contests sometimes. I dabble in all sorts of techniques from 3D printing, foamsmith. I'm trying to learn sewing. And my toxic trait is, yeah, I can do that.
Ditto.
Is it
Am I on
also
now?
I can do that like by the weekend?
Yes.
That doesn't look
So
too
much,
hard.
yeah.
Oh, wait.
I can do that in 2 days. No problem.
I think we got Julius back.
Am I good now, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go. How you guys doing?
Yeah.
So my name is Mike. I go by
Great.
Sir Julius Cosplay. This past New York Comic-Con makes my 15th year as a cosplayer. Yeah, do the math. I'm old. But I dabble in everything from 3D printing to EVA foamsmithing. I've judged cosplay contests overall, and I'm a big advocate of hydration. I've threatened multiple cosplayers because they don't know how to drink water properly, and I get on them about it. Other than that, I'm just here riding the wave of the cosplay scene, and I just want to be more vocal right now in the community. That's all.
Awesome. And Ray, well, you want to introduce yourself, Shinobi? I think everyone knows us by now.
Me first.
Shinobi
sure, yeah.
or Chris. I've been cosplaying since 2017 officially, and but next year will be my 10-year DragonCon anniversary. Looking forward to that.
Awesome. And I'm Anthony. Been cosplaying since 2017. And pretty much the person behind Cosplay Alliance. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool.
Ray?
Hi, I'm Ray Gray Cosplay, or like my name's Rachel, but I like Ray. I've been cosplaying since 2013. I've been making costumes way before that, but I found costuming, like actual cosplay, through Fan Expo in 2013, and yeah, I've just loved it ever since. I really love taking art and bringing it into reality, and I've judged many competitions. Because I just love to see like what people are gonna come up with. You know, like the creativity. That's what like drives me to continue this.
Great.
Awesome.
Right.
Happy to have everyone here today.
Yeah, we want to thank you guys for coming. You know, we're trying our best to foster a more inclusive, as I said, community. With the help of Shinobi here and the rest of our team, we're trying our best to focus more on cosplay and cosplayers. The first question I have for everyone: what was your first cosplay, and what made you decide to choose that cosplay?
So this is
you can raise your hand
really
if you want to go.
embarrassing. It's like really embarrassing.
Everybody raise your
but,
hand in
like,
school.
I don't know. I'll go first. Breaking the ice. So oh god, this is dating myself, but like my first cosplay was actually Mocha Akashia from like Rosario Vampire. I made it when I was 15, and I wore it to my very first convention ever, which was New York Comic Con. And it still fits, which is the worst part. Somehow, I don't know, I've gone through like 8 different dress sizes and like obviously, you know, like a long time. And I actually, the fun fact, I got to meet the voice actress for Mocha recently, and she was like head over heels. She was like, "Oh my god, this is so cool." I was like, "This is really awkward. We are not cool enough. Like, you are cool, I am not. Sorry." But it was really awesome. So yeah, that was my first cosplay. Still have it. It's in my closet somewhere.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
My first cosplay. Okay, so there's like levels to my first cosplay. So I originally started out doing closet cosplays. So I would have to say my first closet cosplay would be one of the muses from Hercules.
Yes.
And then my first debut like at a con in full cosplay would be as Death from A Kami Got Kill at Anime NYC. And I didn't exactly know what to expect. I thought I was gonna be like overdressed, like people are gonna be looking at me like, oh, you went all out. But I was really surprised by how many people actually cosplayed and, you know, just went all out. So I'm glad that that was my start and debut into the community.
Yeah, I started with closet cosplay too. I was originally supposed to go the Friday of New York Comic Con 2015, but my mom, she got like a text from someone who was like, "Hey, I have tickets if you want to go." And my mom was like, "Do you want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I didn't have anything planned for the Thursday, and I was like, "Okay, what can we do? What can we do?" And I had a green button down and then a black skirt and Doc Martens, and my hair is brown and I usually wear glasses, and I was like, boom, Daria.
There you go.
Put that together and I was like, oh, awesome. And it all worked out, and like I'm like, wow, it's crazy.
Yeah, so I have a kind of a crazy first like real cosplay. So I was starting to make Sylvanas Windrunner, and I ended up getting pregnant halfway through, but I still wanted to go to the convention. And it was one of the first years that Overwatch was really popular. So I obviously changed course and did Roadhog with my 6-month pregnant belly. And it was so much fun, but I was very overwhelmed because like me and my friends that all did like Overwatch characters together, we got swarmed the whole time. And I just like was like, guys, I'm like really pregnant. Like I need to like go to the bathroom and stuff. Like, you know, it was like so crazy and wild. But, yeah. And then it also ended up being my first like contest too, because we got pulled in to the cosplay contest because we were a group. and they needed somebody. So it also was my entry into the craftsmanship contest world at the same time. So it's like there's no looking back now.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I guess I'll go. So I was originally bar hopping with a group of friends back in like 2008 in the city. And we all saw everybody walking from the Javits Center. This was on Sunday, and everybody was dressed up in like costumes and stuff. And we were just all like, what's going on? They was like, oh, it's New York Comic Con. And we're all geeks. And we're just like, oh, okay, let's go check it out. Now, this was when you can actually still buy tickets at the door on the last day, which is unheard of right now, you know?
Yeah.
So we managed to get some tickets. We went in, and when I was just infatuated with everybody's cosplays, and I was like, people just do this? And they were like, yeah. So I was like, all right, so I'm going to do it next year. So for the first year, I built my Master Chief cosplay from Peppercora. Now, if you don't know what Peppercora is, it's a very tedious process, which I do not recommend for doing today because there's so much better things out there to use. But it took me a year to make it. I debuted it in 2009, and that's all she wrote. I've been cosplaying ever since.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, Peppercorn is difficult. Well, for me, I know this is gonna sound so dumb, really, but it's actually where my name started. You all know, everybody knows Jean Grey and like Scott Summers, right? They all know like the basic X-Men stuff.
Scott.
But little do you know that there's also Hope and Rachel Summers, aka Rachel Grey, because she's Jean Grey's daughter. My name is literally Rachel Grey, and if you look in like the I forget which one it is at the moment. Not the new. I always want to say New 52 because I get convinced with DC, but it's one of the X-Men's, and Rachel Grey is like, we look exactly similar. I have original red hair, but I decided for Fan Expo that I was going to go as this like niche character because I was like, oh, it's me. That's exciting. Maybe I'll just be myself in a way. And it was less, worrisome than building like a whole big thing. Although it was very much stretch pleather type of fabric, which is not easy to work with. And I made it out of a pair of pants, actually. I found these pair of pants at the mall that was like this weird leathery stretch fabric, and I cut everything up and I shifted it into like a skirt and a top because that's her basic outfit. And I saw Stan Lee in it, and I tried to explain to him that I'm her. I'm here. I'm taken off of the comic book page. I'm here in life now. And he's like, "That's nice, dear." I'm like, okay. But yeah, I don't know. I read comic books and I loved comic books before, getting into cosplay. Like I said, I've been sewing since I was a teenager, so I love to make stuff, and I loved comic books. They just never coexisted until that year. You know?
Excellent.
Awesome.
I love it.
Love a niche cosplay.
Nobody knows who she is, I swear. Everyone's like, "You're Jean Grey." I'm like, close. That's my mom.
You're like half right. Like,
yeah, half right. It's close enough. We should see her in the Excalibur comics. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that. Yeah, she's very like punk rock, leather, spikes everywhere. It's very different.
Well, for me, my first cosplay, I started off as a photographer, so like I always wanted to do comfortable cosplays while doing photography. So I would dress as like Marty McFly or Teen Wolf. I don't know why it was Michael J. Fox's characters, but that's what I chose. But they were very comfortable, so that's kind of what I started with. And I would say like my first official cosplay was Black Panther, like before the movie came out. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
You guys want me to go?
Yeah, good, man.
I'm trying to remember what my first one was. I think I ordered stuff from like Amazon, like some motors. My first cosplay was Deathstroke, and I just ordered like motorcycle gear off of Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah, painted it, and for 2 years I wore that motorcycle jacket backwards, and I didn't know.
Oh my
Nice. That's some shit I would do, honestly.
I was choking for 2 years, and I'm like, why am I choking? Then I realized it was backwards.
That's like when I had to discover I needed glasses. I was just like, why is everything so blurry? I just must be tired.
Like when you take your contacts off and you're like, oh, it's yeah, my eyes must be tired. No, you need your glasses back on.
Yeah, I'm actually legally blind without my contacts or glasses
Oh,
in.
no.
So like
Oh.
it's real bad. It's so bad.
For a
Okay.
year straight, I was just like, oh, I'm just tired.
A year. Wow.
I'm just tired.
Do you get
Sometimes I don't even use
Just
my
in
glasses.
denial.
Sometimes I don't even use my glasses because the world seems better blurry.
Amen. I fully agree to that one.
Hmm.
Does anybody here, like when you guys buy your colored contacts, do you actually put your prescription into your colored contacts?
Nope.
Colored
Yeah.
contacts don't come in my prescription.
Wait,
Oh my god.
It's the worst. My friends who take photos of me literally just edit my eye color in Photoshop. Like they have presets already because they just can't.
I think
I'm
we've
so
all seen
nervous
this
to
meme.
use the colored contacts. Like
Well,
my
I
eyes
think
are
we've
so
all seen
sensitive. Sorry.
I think we all seen the meme where it's like, oh my god, you saw me at the convention, you didn't say hi to me, and then it's like what
Yeah.
what I saw is just blur. Like, oh,
Yeah, that's definitely me.
You got the next question, Chris?
All right. So cosplay has, been a refuge for a lot of people like us, especially people that didn't fit in or just nerds in general. Over the years, it's now becoming like really mainstream. Do you feel that is losing its identity to the commercialization?
a little bit.
I personally think it's what you make it yourself, because at the end of the day, I don't let it stress me out because it's not the only thing that's going on for me, and this is just coming from personal experience. Um, yes, it has gone mainstream a lot, especially since like when I first started doing it. But then you got people. You got to think about it. Listen, we are adults playing dress up, and I some you know what I mean. Like we're just full
We're
grown
dorks in
adults.
costumes, guys.
Yeah, we're
That's
just
what we do.
adults playing dressed up,
So hard
and
to stop that.
yeah. But I personally love the fact I'm not a gatekeeper. I love the fact that everybody's doing it. I'm the guy that if I see you in the same cosplay as me or the same theme like areas cosplay as me, oh, pose with me. You know what I mean? Like so it's just like
Yeah.
I'm in it for the ride. I'm in it for the fun. Now, when it comes to commercializing and like monetizing it, there is a stress level to it, but then sometimes you have to just take a step back and just be like, this is for fun. This is for
Yeah.
fun. This is for
Yeah.
fun. There's more going on in my life than this. This is strictly for fun.
Yeah.
And I feel like some cosplayers, because I've spoken to a lot of cosplays behind the scene, and sometimes they let it stress them out way too much. And I'd be like, listen,
I'm one of the
take a
people.
step back. Just take a step back. Stay off of Instagram for a while, stay off of Facebook for a while, take a step back, collect yourself, and remember why you started doing this in the first place. You was doing it for fun. And I think some people kind of let go of that.
See, to that point, on my end here, I will admit that I've definitely struggled with this kind of stuff, like when it became so popular, because for me, it never started as I'm doing it for fun. For me, it started as I want to make this thing. And so I was really deep dived into like how to build it, why they build it, competitions, like the perfectionism of it. And it's only been in the recent few years here that I've learned to let some of that perfectionism go and just have fun with it. Because, like I said at the beginning, I was so like, I want to be the best me I can. And so I was like beating myself up about it. You know what I mean? Which is not a necessarily a good place to be with it. And then my friends back home in Windsor, they were like, girl, like, we're just having fun. Like, you need to chill out. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Which is why when it comes to like the competitions, like judging and watching is almost better for me, because then I can see the joy of it and like that helps. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
for sure.
completely agree with that. I've always
Mhm.
preferred being a judge versus like entering contests and stuff because I'm just like, I rather see people enjoy themselves versus stressing myself out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have really, really bad anxiety, and it's triggered by like, which is ironic. It's triggered by like being in front of people. Yay! So let's do this. No, so it's just like every time I competed, I would always beat myself up and like stress out over it to the point of like it was just horrible. And now I judge, and I'm on the other side, and I've actually had a lot of contestants come to me and be like, "Oh my god, you are so kind when you judge." I'm like, yeah, because I know exactly what it's like to be there where you're standing and have someone nitpicking things that you don't think, you know, you want to hide or whatever. Like I understand how stressful that is. I'm going to be as kind as possible. And I think that's really why I cosplay. When I started, I was like, yeah, I'm going to dress up and, you know, go to a convention because I don't want to stand out. Literally, that was why I decided to make a costume the week of Comic-Con.
I feel like there are pros
for
and
real.
cons.
But like, I've always done it just kind of for fun. Like, I don't want to, you know, it's not a competition unless you're actually competing. And then when you're competing, you know,
Right.
I have a lot of friends who do like Crown or, you know, really big competitions, and they're focused on how do I learn? How do I meet other creators and like
Yeah.
do really cool things? And, you know,
See,
if I didn't
stuff
have
alike.
yeah, if I didn't have that kind of experience and like, first of all, Google is great, but like when I started, there was no such thing as like
There
a
was
phone
nothing.
flyer.
Yeah.
There was Instructables, and that was it.
Yeah,
Oh
like,
my goodness, Instructables. Oh,
Yeah,
he took
and
me back.
I'm actually
that was a deep dive.
I'm actually really glad it's gotten like so much more popular because it's so much more accessible for people instead of being like so like esoteric and so like out there where you're like, cool, I have to be a wizard at, you know, wig and, you know, sewing and foam smithing and 3D printing and like all of those things. I mean, yeah, we're all jacks of all trades, but like now it's a lot easier to like reach out to a friend in the community who does something or commission a wig, for example, if you're like super struggling with that. Or you can look up tutorials for specific character wigs. There are cosplay wig companies, like they exist now. They never existed back then. And it makes it so much easier to just, you know, do what you love instead of being like, cool, I'm going to stress out for the next 4 weeks trying to find a wig that's like blue and purple and pink. And it's going to ship from China and I'm not going to get it in time. And like, I have no idea what I'm doing. But like, it's just so much better. And everyone who's like, I'm gonna gatekeep. Like, please don't gatekeep. Like,
I'm a big advocate for buying shit. Like, you'd be surprised how many people come up to me. They was like, "Oh, this looks amazing," and I was like, "They was like, how long did it take to make?" I was like, "I bought this." I was like, "I just didn't have the time."
I'm on the
like,
next day
I can't make everything.
Yeah, I feel like
it's
there's
a good
pros
thing.
and
Sorry,
cons.
go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Tay.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, I think there are definitely pros and cons for cosplaying going mainstream. Like personally, like I said, I started out doing closet cosplays for a reason because I was insecure about how I looked and insecure because like there's always going to be internet trolls or whatever just all up in the
100%.
comments. Yeah, and I feel that cosplay has helped me gain my confidence to be comfortable in my skin and let alone as someone else, cosplaying as someone else. Because although toxicity is still in the cosplay community, it's becoming a lot more accepting. And those who are like not necessarily part of the cosplay community, they are trying to get in because they see other people do it. It's now becoming more acceptable, and I feel that I agree that it shouldn't be gate kept. Everyone should cosplay, honestly. And I just feel that I wish that cosplay was as accessible back when I was a kid, but I'm glad that it's more accessible for the future generations.
Yeah, I do think that it's positive as well that it's so mainstream just because like, you know, when we were growing up, you didn't really talk about like your nerdy stuff that you did at home or gaming and stuff like that. It was all sort of like Yeah, and like now I just feel like I'm slowly becoming more and more okay with like talking about it to people that I know like aren't in that world. And I feel like I don't have to like hide it anymore. And there's so many like different paths you can go with cosplay just because it is mainstream now. You can do the content creation. There's so many people that are 3D printing, but like cosplay 3D printing, or like there's the seamstress. Like there's just so many avenues you can take that I just think it's amazing, and it's just a positive experience for everybody now because of it.
I just want to introduce Ali to the chat. Ali, thanks for joining us tonight. Yeah, we were just talking about the commercialization of cosplay and how this has affected the community. But before we get into that, I just wanted to touch base. If anyone wants to answer this question and elaborate on what it means.
Somebody said they don't understand the term closet cosplay.
So, wait, am I answering the closet cosplay?
Yes, go for it.
So, closet cosplay is basically pulling items that you already own, like literally out of your closet, and putting them together to create a character. Or at least that's what my definition is. That's what I've been doing for like 4 years or so. As opposed to actually purchasing or like making a prop or something, like going out of your way to buy a cosplay.
Yeah, it would be like taking things that you already own and making it work for whichever character that you can, where it's like, oh, this vest will work for this character, things like that. And then you realize like, oh, okay, I can make a couple like easy cosplays, like, and then you're like, okay, cool, I can save some money over time. I can like kind of use what I got, and then you can build on it and so on. So I think it's a great place to start, especially when you're like, for me, I'm not like a builder, I'm not a seamstress. I'd love to know basic skills, but I'm just not there at this point. So doing closet cosplay helped me feel more confident going into cosplay, because I was like, I have to be able to do this, that, and the other. And I was like, maybe that wouldn't make me like a cosplayer. And I was like, no, it's about dressing up as a character, connecting, and having a fun time. So closet cosplay definitely helped me like retrain my brain and go, no, you're doing the thing and have fun doing it.
Yeah, also there's no shame in buying your costumes from like Party City or Spirit and stuff like that. You can also alter a lot of costumes that you buy from there as well.
Yeah, I like to call it buy and modify. I've done that a lot. Just buy things, just modify them to your whim.
Yeah.
Well, that's how you start with your confidence, right? It starts with, how can I alter this? And then you go, oh, okay, what else can I do? And you just kind of keep going. And that's where like the YouTube tutorials come in handy. And it's just everybody, like, even if you can't find what you're looking for, chances are you can reach out to another cosplayer, you know, and like they'll help you out. Like this is like the best community for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, being a plus size cosplayer, I definitely had to like alter a few ready-made cosplays, or just like do it from scratch, buy certain materials, and then just, you know, do alterations, get my hot glue gun, add a ribbon here and whatnot, because it's really hard to find ready-made cosplays in my size. So I had to tap into my creativity.
Yeah, I used to be a size 18, and I've you know, life happened, and stress is a thing, and I've lost weight, and you know, like I even at, you know, now, like I still struggle to find things in my size, and I'm like mid-size, and it was impossible when I was, you know, just normal. Like humans exist, guys. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Agree.
Fun enough, I have problems on the other side. I'm so tiny, I can't find anything that fits me, so I have to like. We don't have to build my own, but I don't know. It's more fun. Like you were saying earlier, like you get part of it started, and then you realize this isn't scary. I could do this, and then you know, you dive into sewing, and then next thing you know, you have a closet of like, you know, 25 things. You're like, oh my god, I'm drowning. You need to stop making things.
And now we don't throw anything out either. You can never purge. I might need that later.
It's hard.
And then you start a new cosplay with 5 other cosplays looking at you.
Exactly.
Like I'm not at home, so you're not seeing the big chaotic mess that is that.
Before we go to the next to the next question. We're just gonna answer this question here. Everyone can take their turn and go around. What's your comfort cosplay?
Ooh.
Oh, it's a question I had actually.
Like the one we're most comfortable in, or the one we love to cosplay as the most?
Yeah, like comfort character or comfort.
Right.
What did you have,
We're
Chris?
not comfortable to wear, but we love them.
I think like what makes you feel what do you feel the most you in?
Ooh.
Okay.
Or like let's say not cosplays alone, but like character wise, like what kind of characters do you usually choose to cosplay?
I'll go first. I would say my comfort cosplay would have to be my Sub-Zero, mainly because it was my second cosplay ever, and it's not that much armor pieces. I can move around in it. I can jump. I can do splits. I can eat in it. All I gotta do is just take the mask off.
You can eat in cosplay.
The worst is when I have one of my big armor pieces on. I can't reach up and try to eat something. But yeah, that's I would say that would be my comfort cosplay. And people was always asking, it was like, oh, why did you choose Sub-Zero? And it's a very simplistic answer. It's like, okay, my favorite color is blue, and when I was a kid, I used to love Mortal Kombat, and that was the guy I wanted to pick when I was playing.
Sub-Zero's the goal.
I want the blue guy. That was the goal. Like he was like, oh, that's it. I'm like, if you want me to get into some type of lore about it, yeah, I can tell you that. But I'm gonna keep it real. I just liked him when I was younger because he was blue, and that's my favorite color.
Yellow's always been my favorite color, and I prefer Sub-Zero.
That's Trimmer. Oh no, it's somebody else.
Anybody else?
I think two of my comfort cosplays are Disney villains. One is Ursula because the way that I have the dress, it's totally like I can breathe. First of all, I went to the beach in it. I swam in the water in it, so it was just so comfortable. I just had to, you know. And the second one would be the Queen of Hearts, the Descendants version, because well, I just like playing evil characters, really. I naturally
You're in
have
your
like
villain era. It's fine.
Yep.
Thank you. I naturally have like a resting bitch face, so it's easy for me to tap into that. And
you too.
Yeah, like people think I'm mean or that I like mean, but usually I can't really see or I'm just like relaxing. But yeah, those two, they feel the most comfortable because of the material, and they're easy to tap into for me.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like I like subconsciously tend to gravitate towards evil characters. Like as you were saying that, I was like, yeah, because every time I go to like try to do photos or something, I realize that I'm like, why am I this evil character when I'm like the most bubbliest person ever? And you know, I'm like, serious. But like,
it's fun bringing another side out.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
you guys got to apply to be mascots for Disney.
My comfort character is kind of like a dual-ish thing. They are, well, like comfort in terms of like movability is definitely my Vault Dweller. It's mostly purchased. It's been altered, but it's like a Amazon Vault suit because it's, you know, so much easier to buy one than to make one. So that one's, in terms of like maneuverability, that's my favorite. But my like comfort character is not even really a canon character. It is from the Fallout universe in theory, but it is my near and dear Vault Bunny, which is actually the picture that they used for the ad on this. It's like an original creation kind of thing, because like Playboy bunny suits just in general like make me feel like hot girl era. We love this.
Same. I love Playboy bunny
so
suits.
confident. I'm like,
I gotta pick mine out.
Like so ready to like you know walk a runway or something. And like I've done Bunny Princess Aurora, I did Bunny Harley Quinn, like I've done
Nice.
an inordinate amount of bunny suits, but it's okay. It's fine.
It is.
So it
I love
just it's something that like it's not easy to move around in. It is a corset, but it is like something that really is near and dear to my heart, and I love it. So
I want to guess Ali's favorite comfort cosplay.
Yeah.
You want to guess it?
Yeah, is it Scarlet Witch?
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't realize how many versions of her I did until I did a post. And I was like, you know what? I just want to like slam together a bunch of pictures of all like the different versions I've done of her because I feel like I've done a lot. And I'm scrolling through my reel and I'm like, oh, there's one. Oh, there's another one. Another one. And it was like 8 different versions. I was like, okay, I have a problem, but it's fine.
I'd say my like comfort character cosplay, all of that. I would just say Zatanna. When I first cosplayed her in 2018, I was like so self-conscious. I was like getting really comfortable doing gender bends, and I was like, oh, I can bring another energy out. But then like getting more like feminine and like showing my legs, it was like a lot for me. And I was like, my legs. Fishnets. I've never worn fishnets. And I was like, woo. And like throughout the day, I felt like more like confident. I was like, okay, cool. Like I was doing the poses, and definitely like she's a character that I've grown with. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you feel good. You like, I will get so into it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not wearing a corset for, you know, like 10 hours and I haven't eaten. It's fine. I'm doing it because I feel good. I have the heels. But like, it's been great, like growing with her. So she's definitely mine.
That's actually pretty cool. Like cosplay got you out of your comfort zone to do a character, which now is your comfort character.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. Is it my turn? Oh.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, I guess technically I have 2 because again, there's like the mobility one and the non-mobility one, right? So non-mobility is Ariel, surprisingly. I really, really, really love all of my Ariel outfits. I have 3, I think, but the tail is like my favorite thing because then I don't have to walk. I could just chill, you know, and go swimming in the water with it, and kids are like, wow, and it's just fun to see the kids go, wow. And then on the opposite side of the spectrum, I guess, the thing that I'm the most comfortable in, which shouldn't be the thing that I'm most comfortable in, but I'm always Poison Ivy. And I have quite a few versions of her. I have the same problem you have with Wanda. There's like multiple, like I think I've done 7 different ones. Like I took her through the seasons, right? And I did the most recent one that I did was there's this artist called Artist Ape, and he makes just fantastic artwork. And yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I literally have a wall right like outside my craft room of just Artist Abe minis.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even kidding.
You know the one with the leaves where she's like, and it's just like, yeah. So I did that one recently, which is like really out of my comfort zone because I literally glued everything to me, so and prayed.
That might have hurt.
It wasn't that bad, you know. I used that craft spray glue. It was pretty good actually. But he's always been my favorite, and I think it's because I just get to go romp around the forest, and then no one questions why I'm just romping around the forest.
All right, I think we got everyone. Did everyone say their comfort cosplay yet?
Yeah,
we did. Okay. Yeah. We'll go to a more fun side. What was your most memorable moment in cosplay? Let it be a positive one.
Again,
we'll touch on the negatives later.
Memories or bad memories?
My most memorable. I'll go first because it's a recent memory. Because even though I've been cosplaying for so long, for 15 years, I just started, quote unquote, commercializing myself and monetizing and making content. Started in like 2020, and then when I built Blue Beetle, that took me into the stratosphere. And I remember when the movie was coming out and they had all the advertisement for it in Times Square. And I said to my brother actually told me about it. He was like, yo, you should totally take your suit and just go walk around the city in it.
Absolutely.
And I was like, yeah, fuck it. Let's go. Can I curse? Yeah. I was just like, let's go. Let's do it. And then completely unplanned, I actually posted in my story that morning. I was like, I'm gonna go walk around in my suit as Blue Beetle. And I remember Wade, the photographer, if you've worked with him, Sick Ander Life, he hit me up. He was like, he's like, is this like a scheduled shoot? Do you have a photographer? And I was like, no, I was just gonna go fuck around with my brother. That's it. And he was like, can I come? And I was like, yeah, I don't care. This is not like this is open invitation. If you want to come shoot shit with me, shoot shit with me. So we met up around like 7, around the time like the sun went down because all the lights was out. And we just walked around and shot a whole bunch of video and shot a whole bunch of pictures and stuff. The Times Square mascots got real jealous because I was like taking business away from them. And the thing about it is I wasn't even taking tips. People were coming up to me and like offering me money and stuff. And I was like, no. My brother was like, what are you doing? Take it.
Yeah,
I was like,
come on now.
The fabric fund, the supplement fund.
Yes.
I was like, nah, I'm just doing this for fun.
fabric
So,
fund.
but yeah, and then there were some of the mascots, they were offering to buy the suit from me. They were like, they were like, oh, how much? And I was like, what do you mean? They was like, how much for the suit? I want to buy it from you. And I was like, no.
You could not afford it, my
Oh
friend.
my goodness.
I said, this is custom, baby. This is one of a kind. Besides, I'm like 2 feet taller than all of them, so I don't know how they was gonna fit it.
Yeah.
Stilts, platforms. So like one of my favorite memories, I have a lot of really, touching moments, but the one that sticks out to me the most is I used to work at a Ren Fair, which is somewhat relevant to this story, but I was actually at the Ren Fair as like a patron instead of, working. And I was dressed as the live action Cinderella.
Right.
And I was walking around like quintessential, like mug of alcohol in hand and, like vape in the other, just kind of like talking. And out of nowhere, like I'm hyper aware of everything unintentionally. And I just see like out of the corner of my eye, this tiny, like 6-year-old making a beeline for, and I'm like, oh no. So my partner at the time, I literally just like shoved my stuff into his chest. And I ended up like, of course, when you're talking to kids, you get down on their level. That's like standard knowledge. And I, sat there and talked to this girl who was could not be convinced otherwise that I was the actual real life Cinderella. And actually there is a photo of this moment, which is near and dear to my heart. And I, after a while I was like, okay, cool, where is this child's mother? But her mother actually was one of the vendors, so was keeping an eye on her. Everybody watches out for the littles, and it was just like the mom had to literally almost pick her up and drag her away because she just kept asking me questions about like, oh, aren't you going to be late for the ball? Like, where's your prince? Like, I was like,
precious.
It's just, it was so magical. It was so like, okay, I'm so glad I didn't, chug my beer before I did. I got to experience that.
Hey, sweetie.
Oh my goodness, I had a similar experience with I cosplayed Princess Jasmine back in 2019, and that's the first time I ever did a princess. And so at the time at New York Comic Con, they had like those plastic like cups, and I was like, okay, cool, so you can refill your beer. And so I was walking around, it's a chill Sunday. I was like, all right.
Oh, kids day.
Yeah, but we were in a corner, and we were like, okay, we're gonna just take a break for a second. And we were by the bathrooms, and then my dad, he goes, hey, and I was like, what? He goes, there's a child walking towards us. And I was like, I put it down, I like hid it away. I took a second, and I was like, okay, cool. I was like, hi, so nice to see you. And that was one of my favorite moments too during that day, just like seeing kids later on, and like on the show floor. And I was like, oh, I love Family Day. This is like, it really is something magical. And I can't wait to bring Jasmine back and make sure I take my breaks in the corner before. Yeah.
Just in case.
It's like we've gotten to the level of like Disney mascots where you got to be careful taking your head off to not
Absolutely.
traumatize these children,
Mhm.
because they'll catch you to
Yeah.
they'll
Seriously.
catch Mickey holding their head underneath their
I know,
arm. They were like, wait a minute.
Well, speaking of
The
Disney,
amount
I
of times
think
I've had little
my-
girls like try to tug at my wig and be like, "Is that real?"
What were you saying, Tay?
You have to be careful.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, I think my most memorable cosplay would be back to Ursula because a photographer I met, his name is David Reyes, a photographer. I don't know if anyone
I know
has
David.
worked with him. Yeah. He wanted to do a concept shoot of like a cosplay doing random things, like having a cup of coffee or doing chores or something.
Oh, that's
So
fun.
yeah, I met him downtown during Pride this year, and we were just looking for random stuff for me to do. And because the cosplay is so versatile and comfortable, we decided to put me on a bike. So I was riding a city bike, like up and down the street. I didn't know where I was going, but Dave and my boyfriend were like yelling at me to come back, and I'm like, I can't stop. I forgot how to stop because I haven't ridden a bike in so long. So I'm like, okay, if I make a turn, I'm gonna crash. People
My
are
dad would have
looking
been
at
like,
me.
just fall.
Yeah, people are looking at me because like, hello, Ursula on a bike. So yeah, I eventually turned around and it was a good shoot, but it was just like a little funny moment. And I love like strutting through the streets during Pride in Ursula because the character is based off of a drag queen design. So it was just a proud moment, an embarrassing but proud moment.
You did the thing.
Yeah.
I always do the thing.
Anyone else have a memorable moment?
I can
I
go.
have one. I mean,
You
like
go, you go.
mine, I have a lot of children one, of course. Like the kids are great. But I think one of my most memorable ones was when I won my first cosplay contest, just because of like the
Nice.
context of how I heard that I won. I'd never. It was a Wanda, of course, because again, I made the Disney the WandaVision suit, like her superhero suit at the end. I had made it
I
from
love
scratch.
that
It
one.
took me a year and a half. She was
Wow.
a burner. But I wanted to enter a contest. That was like my goal. I was like, I want to do this. I've never done this. I need to do it. So I entered it. I've never done a contest before that, so I didn't know how they worked. They were like, "What division do you need to go in?" And I was like, "What do you mean? Like, what's the division?" Like, so they kind of, I think they put me in like novice because I'm like, I've never done this before. Like, I've never made a cosplay before. This is my first one. So they put me in the novice division, and then we were like section. We're going in, and I remember we were sitting there, and they're announcing the winners for the division, and they announced the winner for my division, and it wasn't me, which was fine. But I had my kids in the audience, so I was like, okay, well, like I'm gonna go sit with them after since my division is done. I got up, I walked over to my kid. He came and gave me a hug. He's like, "Oh, sorry," and I'm like, "No, it's fine, like whatever." I'm hugging him, and then I guess they were like talking while I was walking over there, and my other friend was like, "That's you," and I'm like, "What do you mean that's you?" And they're like, "You just won like best in show," and I'm like, what does that mean? Like, you just won the whole show. And I'm like, no, but they said I didn't win the division. They're like, Jesus, Allison, it was so insane. Like, go to the front. I had no idea. I guess they gave like this whole spiel about me, but because I was so distracted thinking it's my kid that I was talking with my son, I had no idea. And I'm like, there's a video of me like walking up. I'm all perplexed, and I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? But no, I just thought that it was a funny moment because I'd worked so hard and I wanted to enter this contest, and then I was just so distracted by being a parent that I completely missed all of it.
Typical parent, right?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. You got to see it.
Awesome.
So my favorite moment, again, yeah, like I too have a lot of little happy kid moments because I did princess party stuff for a little bit. But mine is the happy kid moments, and because I love Poison Ivy, one of my favorite things ever was Windsor Comic Con, the very first year that we did it, because we had to do a media press tour. So I was the costume contest person. So me and Brampton Batman got to ride around all of Windsor in his Batmobile. So there's Poison Ivy and Batman.
dope.
But yeah, he has a
Yeah.
pretty cool Batmobile.
He really does. Shout out to Brampton Batman. But yeah, we went to like the kids hospital and took some pictures with the kids and all that, and we went to the police station and they arrested me. Good times.
Anyone else want to go? All right, Chris.
All right. Next question: does anyone have cosplayer that drew inspiration from as you were getting into cosplay?
Allison Tabitha was huge for me. She is also incredibly sweet. I was lucky enough to like meet her at Comic-Con a couple of years ago, and I genuinely almost cried. Like, not even I was like the overwhelming like welcoming energy and like the oh my gosh, like you're doing the thing. You like it was just and that was on the like pre-social media days, like when BuzzFeed was like an actual news source for like people. Like, yeah, like that's where I was introduced to her. And it was, they say never meet your idols, but like, yeah, that was worth it.
Yeah, we had Allison on the podcast, I think a couple months back. So shout out to Allison.
Yeah, I love how like Allison's one of my top cosplayers too that I love, because I just love how she always like stands her ground, because people come after her in the comments about technique and stuff, and she just like, she's one of the best in my opinion, and she like defends it. She's like, you make stuff how you want to do it and I'll do it the way I want to, and like it's fine, we can all just do it that way.
I like Candy. I followed a lot of her stuff for building video, or like all of her YouTube. I remember like buying her guidebook. She was one of the first like people that I was watching videos on how to like craft with foam and stuff. So she's a big one for me.
Yeah, she's so, like you're saying, like just awesome and welcoming. Her along with Yaya Han, that's who got me into cosplay with Heroes of Cosplay Sci-Fi when that was on, and that's how I'd like learn more about cosplay. And then I was like, who is this woman and how is she making these things? And I didn't understand how big it was. I was still like new to it, and this was like 2013, and like I knew about like dressing up and stuff, but I was like, oh, these people go hard, this is it.
Yeah.
And like getting exposed to that on that show, I wish I would bring it back. Sci-fi, do something else, please. But like that was awesome to experience. And then I was like, wow, the way that like her attention to detail and like the standard that she holds herself to, I was like, yeah. I was like, I get this. I was like, I know that for me, like building isn't something that I'm 100% drawn to, but I could still like find like the inspiration from her, like the way that she carries herself as well, like Allison Tabitha, just like, yep, this is what I'm doing, this is how I'm going to do it, and I want to share it with all of you. So yeah,
I think for me,
oh sorry, you go and then I'll go ahead.
You're already talking.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Like I said, I love Kamui cosplay. She was the start for me because just the level of craftsmanship that her and Benny put into everything, like I could watch their tutorials forever. Just like, how did she, and then the LEDs somehow went in the thing, it's what really got me started in foam building. And I have a few foam builds, but the Skyrim one that I built was like completely inspired by seeing the stuff that she did with Monster Hunter, and like it's just mind-blowing, especially the added smoke that they put in. Like they really were innovative in adding new technologies, which is kind of what started the bigger builds having a lot more intricate pieces to it, and like the robotics kind of leaning directly into the cosplay world. So just I always loved learning and building, and like she was, for me, was like top, and also the other guys that you said too.
I think for me, a cosplayer that inspired me, her name is Sarai Blue, but I think her name is Evelyn. She is like the queen of closet cosplays, because every day she's always posting at least 2 cosplays, and it could be a character that you don't even think of, like the extreme minor character. Like I'm looking now, she did Jane from Arthur, the mom. She did like she just did. She does a bunch of characters that you wouldn't even think of doing, and I think that's real inspiration. I kind of bumped into her at New York Comic Con, but because I didn't have my glasses, I couldn't really, I didn't realize it was her. So I spent like half the time chasing her down. She was just as Lydia. So I'm like, follow that Lydia. But there were like a whole bunch of Lydias around. So, but yeah, she's just so creative. And, well, like I said, she thinks outside the box. Like doing characters that are not necessarily mainstream or popular, but like just characters that you wouldn't even think of.
You know who else I really love is Cowbutt Crunchies. They're like
yes,
the wigs.
yeah.
Wait,
Cowbutt Crunchies.
Who? Okay, let me. What's? I'm gonna Google it and put it.
Cowboy Crunchies is.
Oh,
a duo.
okay.
Yeah. Am I saying it wrong?
Wig styling? Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow, they really had a lot of intricate stuff, and again with the LEDs, like we added LEDs to that one wig, and that was just next level.
Yeah, just like Taylor said in the chat, it was Jessica Negri for me as well. My friend that got me into cosplay, like it was like the same sentence. It was like, cosplay exists. You know who Jessica Negri is, right? And I'm like, no. And then it was like game over after that. I'm like, you can build these things? What? Like,
and her Juliet just changed the game. Those lollipop chains. I was like, whoa.
I have two inspirations because it's two different styles that I do. Like Ray said, I have Kami Cosplay because I actually met her before she became Kami Cosplay, back in like 2008, where she had a table. Yeah, she had a table. There was nothing going around, and I had just finished my Master Chief in Pepakura, and I was just like, "There's no way I can do this method again. This is too tedious. This is too much. I need something easier." And she was like, "Oh, EVA foam," and I was like, "What's that?" And it's just like, "Oh, you do this." So then I started using EVA foam, and then fatherhood hit me. And, now I have a little girl running around, so I can't really sit for hours and hours and hours at a table, like messing with EVA foam. And I was like, there got to be an easier way to do these things. And I'm very cliche. Like, Google is my best friend. So I typed into Google, easier cosplay besides EVA foam. I know that sounds stupid, but that's
smarter, not harder.
That's literally what I put into it. And lo and behold, a channel came up called Frankly Built with 3D printing. I didn't know 3D printing existed. I had no idea there was a thing. And I saw that he made his Iron Man suit and straight from 3D printing and sanding and doing the colors and painting. So that's what got me into 3D printing. 3 years later, he's like one of my homeboys, and like we hang out, we talk all the time and stuff. And when we see each other at conventions, it's like I'm in Blue Beetle, he's in Iron Man, compose with me. All right, see you later. Let's keep it moving because it's hectic. But yeah, those two right there, it's just like were my inspirations into doing what I'm doing now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the Eevee your thing. Reminds me a lot of Swaggy. A lot of like how Swaggy does.
Oh, Swaggy, yeah. Facts.
It reminds me a lot of Swaggy.
I'm looking at like foam rolls right now, and they're just like this. You guys already know the deal. There's just foam rolls everywhere. There's prints everywhere. There's just stuff everywhere.
All right, we're gonna get it.
I love your
We're gonna get into something a little bit juicy and spicy now. Cosplay horror stories.
Oh no, that's why I asked. Was it?
I have a few.
Cosplay horror stories. If you don't wanna talk, it's fine.
I don't care. I tell the story.
Some people aren't comfortable. If you're not comfortable talking about it, that's fine. But
I've got one.
I'm an open book.
So my second craftsmanship contest that I entered in on purpose this time, not accidentally like the first one. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this for real now. So I got back to working on my Sylvanas Windrunner, and It was chaos. You know how it is the last like week of the contest. I also have ADHD, so I'm like, I'm gonna try this new technique like 2 days before the contest.
Love it.
Which was like oil washing my bow. And one of the judges, you might know her. Her name is Yaya Han. We're in the judging, and she asked to hold my bow immediately. And like, there's no way she didn't get oil paint like all over her hands. And I was like mortified, like handing it to her because like it was like all over the hotel room, all over my car on the way. And I was like, oh god, like, but when Yaya Han asked to hold your bow, like you hand her your bow.
Yeah.
She didn't, you don't say no to Yaya Han. That's just
so yeah. Yep. Pretty horrifying.
Who wants to go next?
I've unfortunately have had female cosplay friends find me during cons, so I had to scare away creeps.
Oh, that kind of.
Yeah, so it's like I'll never forget. It was like one of those situations. Like, do I make a big scene, or do I just like quietly tell this person to kick rocks? You know what I mean? And then I'll never forget. She ran up to me. I'm not mentioning any names. She ran up to me. She was like, Julius, oh my God. And she gave me a hug and she whispered in my ear. She was like, this guy's been following me for like 20 minutes. And I was like, oh, really? So I just beelined it straight to him. I was like, hey, what's up, man? What's up? And he's just like, and you can kind of like, I'm in his face and he's just like, hey, what's up? And I was like, hey, what's up? I was like, you know her? I was like, you hanging out with her and stuff? He's like, oh, like as soon as I started pressing him, he just started getting really nervous. So I was just like, yeah. So what you're going to do, you're going to turn around, you're going to go that way. And he was just like, I was like, yeah, you're going to turn around and you're going to go that way. And he was like, oh, okay. And I was like, yeah, and if I see you again, yeah, it's not going to be pretty. And he was just like, okay. And she was just like, oh my God, thank you. And I was just like, listen, I tell everybody, if you see me and somebody or some guy or girl, anybody is like bothering you, find me. Just find me. Because I don't play that. I don't like it. I'm a father of 2 daughters, and I'm here to set an example for both of them. So if there's any issue within the community during cons and stuff where you feel uncomfortable, find me. If you can't find security or anything like that, if you don't want to make a big deal out of it, find me. I will take care of it. I'm a big guy. I'm not scared. Because once you press them, trust me, they will run.
Yeah.
And I was because it was just so like it was just one of those surreal situations. Like she was real quick. She was like, he's been following me for like 20 minutes, and I was just like, okay, I'll take care of it. Like instant, like, oh no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people like have to constantly be reminded that cosplay is not consent, because like I have a very similar story. I was doing like an interview and at Comic-Con and I was wearing again live action. I have so many stories of this live action Ella dress and on camera I think it was like Entertainment Weekly or something. It was some like big name thing, and I was really excited because it was like the first time anyone had ever stopped me. And out of nowhere, some random guy walks up behind me on camera and grabs my ass and says, wow, you fill this dress out better than a skinny girl, and then just walked off. Said nothing. I was like, what is happening? What? They ended up having to throw out the footage, obviously, because, you can't use that mid-interview. And now it's gotten to the point where I literally bring my husband with me everywhere. Because I am genuinely like it's just so obnoxious. Like I don't ever want that to happen again. And I have so many horror stories very similar to that. And I just like, guys, do better.
It's hard because you don't even have time to react, right? Like,
it was
and threw you off. Like,
even the people who were doing the interview were like, did that actually just like, is this real? Like, are we in the Twilight Zone? Are we being punked? What is happening? And it was just, It was just so, because it's that dress specifically is a literal, like, really voluminous ball gown. It's not like I'm standing there, not that it would be acceptable in any capacity ever, but like I'm not standing there in a spandex bodysuit. I'm not standing there, you know, in a bikini. Like I am. What? Where did you even come from with that?
I feel like social media has made these people way too comfortable when they step into the real world, and they forget that the real world will have consequences. They're not behind a screen. So like, unfortunately, his consequence didn't happen that day, but it's just like act like you got some goddamn sense. Like, why would you do that? What is wrong with you?
On camera is wild.
So bizarre.
Yeah.
People don't respect each other's boundaries. You have to respect the people around you. It's that simple. If you don't want it done to you, don't do it. If you're second guessing doing something, maybe don't do it. I'm so sorry that
I have a question though. Is it mainly from other cosplayers that this happens, or is it from the general public?
In my experience, it's the general public. Yeah,
because I mean, not I'm thinking to have an excuse, but I feel like a lot of them are unaware of the. I mean, everyone should be aware, but unaware of the cosplay is not consent, because a lot of cosplayers know, right? And I feel like there's a lot of misinformation or not enough information out there for people to actually know, or there's not enough repercussions.
It's just basic, right? You don't go to the grocery store and grab a woman's ass. Like, it's just basic.
Yeah, you don't
human decency.
But a lot of them,
like, people are too comfortable.
A lot of conventions don't really react fast enough or efficient enough to stop these things. I think in their track or from happening in the future, right?
I think there's as much as I would love to say, like, yeah, it's the general public for the majority of the time, I actually find that it is con-goers who are in civilian clothing. So like when I say general public, that's what I mean, because they obviously know what they're doing, because, you know, at least for the last, 4 or 5 years, New York Comic Con has had giant signs that say cosplay is not consent. It's been publicized on like every, cosplayers, major cosplayers page, like, please don't do this. Like, if you are going to a comic book convention and you have some sort of idea of what cosplay is, which I would assume you do if you're going to a comic book convention, you know that, like, even if you don't know as a human being, maybe don't touch people without their consent. Like, they just seem to think, oh, well, that's my favorite character. That's the actual character. I can just do whatever I want. And it's not, we're human. We're not like, we're not a fantasy character. We're not a comic book character. We're not a TV show. We're not a celebrity. Like, we are people with boundaries, and we would like to enforce our personal space, please.
Exactly. Well, I mean, what happened to you? What happened to you? Sorry, Tay. What happened to you? I feel like should have hopefully it was reported, and that person was banned from whatever cons that they were planning to go to. But I feel what I'm speaking about is a lot of people think it's okay to come hug you, or put their arms around you, or touch your cosplay without asking you. In severe cases, you should be, if not charged with But in those circumstances, because we do like a lot of shoots, and I find with the general public, even if we have outdoor shoots, a lot of people will come and like be a part of the shoot, or not respect the shoot that's going on, or try to like, oh, let me have a photo with you, right? And we have like a time frame, so I don't know if the general public understands.
It's always not always the general public, but I've had, because remember, most of my cosplays are like real armor based, so I'll have like shoulder armor, like 3D print shoulder armor, or like my Blue Beetle armor. And I'll never forget, I was in my Blue Beetle. This was like when I first debuted it, and I'm walking around the con, and some guy, he took a picture with me, and after he was done, he literally like you know how you hit a car, it's like, yeah, this is a good car. Like he hit the back of my backpack. He was like, yeah, yo, your Blue Beetle's dope, and he hit me, and I was just like, bro, and like, this is still plastic, and it started like digging into my, like, it hit me and dug into my shoulder, and it cut me, and I was like, oh my god, why would you do that? I was just like, what is wrong with you? And I said it just like that. I was like, why would you do that? I was like, there's a person underneath this thing. Like, why would you hit me? and just like I don't know what's going on. Like anything can fall off. This stuff is like held together with bubble gum. What is wrong with you, man?
So
All
sorry.
together with hopes and dreams.
With hopes and dreams.
But some
that's the truth.
predators are literally in disguise, and they have ulterior motives to what may seem like it's innocent. Like a recent event that happened, which is technically a horror story of mine. I met this guy at a Marvel versus DC party. I was a static shock. I forgot what he was, but like he seemed nice enough, so we followed each other on Instagram. A few days later, he asked if I wanted to help him out with like an independent commercial that involves Sour Patch Kids, and I immediately said yes because, I made it my mission not to say no to any opportunity. But when he showed me the script and I showed it to my boyfriend, let's just say feet were involved, and he did the same thing to other cosplayers that went to that party. So he was literally cosplaying as someone being part of the community, but like kind of targeting or using party goers as prey. And it was just.
You remember his name? Send me his name. I'll DM him. And we'll
I just want to
collaborate.
talk.
I just want to talk. I just want to talk.
Thank you.
That's
But
cool.
like I blame myself a little bit because
Don't
I
do
immediately
that.
said
Don't like yourself.
I immediately said yes because I wanted to. I thought it was like innocent. I wanted to help him out and as well, like be involved in like a big project and stuff.
Yeah.
So
You're just excited, and then you're like, oh, we get to collaborate. We're at
Yeah.
this nerd event together. So you're thinking
Yeah.
it's just community. So
Yeah, you have to give the benefit of the doubt,
All I
right?
know
Like,
is
you
that-
could have never
Right.
predicted.
yeah, no,
Sour
so
Patch Kids
sorry.
and feet is such a strange combination.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like
That's
you literally
crazy.
blew out of left
Yeah,
field with
what's
that one.
Bro,
All
like,
the
yo,
to make money off you is like rude because that's exactly where that was going.
Anyone else have a horror story?
Yeah, I got a lighthearted one. We'll get off the.
Yeah, let's lighten the mood up a little bit.
Sure. So back in the day when I was going to, I think it was Great Lakes Comic Con is the one that we went to. I used to be married, got divorced, but me and my ex-husband at the time, we were Poison Ivy and Nightwing, and we used to do a lot of swing dancing together. So we would do lift tricks. He'd pick me up, he'd throw me around. Ooh, exciting. And this particular day, I had on like a red wig for Poison Ivy. Granted, I had red hair, like not now, obviously, but originally I have red hair, and I had my red hair under my red wig, and I did not pin anything down because I did not think I was going to be doing Cirque du Soleil that day. So he decided that, like, oh, we should go and do the contest. I'm like, okay, yeah, like it's fine, why not? We'll go have a ball. And then we're watching the contest go, and like people are doing tricks. There's people doing kung fu. There's people doing this, that, and the other thing. So he says, we really should do something. Like, I really just want to like do a lift trick with you. And I said, I don't know, man. Like, this is not pinned down. That could be a problem. And he's like, no, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm like, okay. So he like talked me into it. And and we get up there and the tricks go well. And I have a really good picture of him like holding one arm, one leg, and like throwing me around, right? But he goes to put me upside down, and the wig comes flying off my head, like mid on stage, mid competition. I'm just like,
nice, 10 out of 10.
And so I go, woo!
Nailed it.
It's all
What
part of the
is it?
activity.
It's a reveal.
Taking lemons and making lemonade, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
What are you gonna do? And then people like, they're the people who are emceeing and chattering are like, and that's why wig clips are a thing. I'm like, and backstage I'm like, I know.
Like, don't use it as an example.
Please don't think I don't know. But yeah, it was really funny. And then yeah, we had a really good rest of the day. I put my wig back on, went on with my day. Like,
All right, I guess I got one.
Yeah.
Keep it lighthearted as well. The first time I wore A-Train, very first time was NYCC 2019. walk into the Javits Center. Right before I get to the door, literally right before, I am excited, I'm happy. Huge bird shit. Bow.
Nice.
Bow.
That's supposed to be luck, though.
That's luck,
The
man.
bird was targeting
Yeah,
you.
it's good.
I was like, I'm
Discrimination.
walking in, I'm just like,
I guess you weren't fast enough, Chris. Guess you
I
weren't
was
fast
not
enough.
fast
That's
enough
what's up.
for sure. So I guess it was good luck because it's been good. I mean, ever since then I've been doing A-Trade, so maybe it was good luck.
Yeah, maybe.
I hope you got the suit dry cleaned at least.
So but the friend I was with luckily had like some wipes. So as soon as we got in, she's like, "I have wipes." I was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you."
I have a
That's
similar
good.
story, but reverse. I was lucky. I was leaving Anime NYC as Mihawk.
Reverse.
Like we was leaving, and a bird shitted right on my hat. Like right on the brim of the hat, and I was like, and you know how you could feel it. I felt it was like boom, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, was that water? And I took my hat off and I looked. I was like, fucking bird shit on me. What the hell? But thank God this was like we were leaving the convention.
Thankfully, at the end of the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, always carry those like individually wrapped shout wipes. Like we got it.
I'll piggyback on this topic now. What are some
A bird
essentials
shit
that
on
you
you
need?
too?
Essential.
What are some essentials you need for going to conventions?
That's better. That's a better topic.
Glue.
Aside from deodorant.
Glue.
Glue
Hot
of
glue,
all kinds. Yes.
safety
glue of all-
pins.
all kinds.
Because I know there are a few cosplayers out there that promote the use of deodorant that cause.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
deodorant,
Well, I'd say insoles.
That's talking to you, Lorenzo.
Ooh, that's a good
duct,
one.
duct tape. Duct tape has saved my life
Oh,
multiple
spider-
occasions.
Eyelash glue. I always carry eyelash glue.
Yes.
But for
Yeah.
multiple, it's not just for your eyelashes. It's good for everything.
Ali, you've been quiet. What do you take? What is some? Actually, Ali's been very useful to me at our booth this year. She had pretty much everything in her hotel.
Yeah. I just like there's like the briefcase. Like we always have the cosplay briefcase of just like every repair thing that you could possibly imagine, like Velcro, tape, a little sewing kit, like, and that goes everywhere.
Yeah, Ali's like, I need this. I got you. I'll be back.
Somebody just thought I was a makeup artist at the last photo shoot that I went to because I bought one of those, like it's like a makeup artist thing that it like expands, and they came up to me like expecting makeup, and I expanded. I'm like, no, there's like safety pins, zip ties.
Yeah.
glue.
Like I got a system going on here.
My
Yeah,
husband is the
I might
real
be able to find a
MVP.
lipstick.
My husband is the real MVP because he carries a backpack, like a full-on, like full-size backpack. Normally he's in plain clothes. I call him like husband, handler, booth babe,
Oh, yes.
everybody. So like he carries this backpack. It has a full portable sewing kit with I think something like 20 different colored thread, scissors, like everything. It was like $12.99 on Amazon. Super great purchase. It's got a makeup kit that has like a little mini foundation, concealer, brushes, sponges, powder. Like I'm talking, I literally have everything ready to go. I have fashion tape. I've got shout wipes. I've got Cottonelle wipes. I've got Clorox wipes. Like I've got
all the wipes.
No,
All the
seriously,
wipes, all
like
the stuffs.
we could survive the apocalypse. Like it's fine. We even have a tripod, like a camera tripod in there for some like
battery pack.
You never know.
Stay ready, you don't gotta get ready.
Have them cosplay. Have them cosplay. Fix It Felix. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I get him to cosplay with me. We actually recently just did a shoot. Oh my god, I can't talk. Shoot on Veterans Day in Brooklyn, and my darling husband dressed up as Gomez, and I dressed up as Tish. And my husband is the ultimate Gomez energy. He really truly does have the Gomez, the I am obsessed with my wife energy. We love him.
That's couple goals, Morticia and Gomez. That is couple goals.
Yeah, literally. So first con we ever went to in 2019, I have really thick and straight hair normally, and it never stays curled at all. So I was doing pin curls every night before the show to make sure my hair would fit into a wig cap, and I was getting really frustrated and genuinely wanted to like throw something out a window, and it wasn't working. And my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, we'd been dating for about like 8 months, so like not even really anything. He goes, "Oh, how can I help?" And I was like, "Well, if you knew how to French braid, that would be great." And he's like, all right, so this man taught himself how to French braid my hair and has now French braided my hair for wig prep every single time I get into cosplay for the last almost
goals.
And he also taught himself how to put on my false eyelashes.
Wow.
So like
See,
MVP.
there you go.
Wow, the realist.
I'll be clipping that and sending it to my husband. Thanks.
Hey, trading problems now or solutions.
You're like, just check out this
He's a
clip
golden
real quick.
retriever gamer boy. Like it's fine.
How come you don't braid my hair?
I think
We also have to recognize the cosplay medics. I don't know if you guys have cosplay medics at the cons in the US, so you have to give them their props as well.
Yeah, we have an entire table at the
Paladins. Shout out to Paladins of Cosplay, you guys. Paladins of Cosplay. They have the cosplay repair station. Shout out.
Yeah.
The cosplay medic over here. Yeah. I'm always falling apart. If I don't fall apart at least once at a con, it's not been a con.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
I had my first suit rip at Brooklyn Comic Con as Rogue. I went to go pick something up, but I did a little squat down and I went, that's a little bit of a breeze. And then I got up and where it split, it was Rogue has the jacket. It was right under the jacket, so it was visible. And I was
you couldn't even hide it from me. Oh my goodness.
And then my mom is the best. She has everything. She's thought of everything. She is mom mode all the time. So we go to the back and she's like, it's no problem. And she's like, I have green thread right here. Just stand right there. And I was like, thank you. Because I don't think I would have been able to cover that during the day. I would have been like, I think it's time to change. But yeah, that was so scary.
I've been there actually with my Jinx. I just, she's an exciting character. You're bouncing around, you're jumping, and doing all these things. And I made them when I made it. I just made it one size too small because I painted before I put it together, which I should have put it together and then painted. I know, rookie mistake. But then I moved some way. Who knows? It squatted or something, and it just full in the crack area just ripped. So then I had to sew, obviously not there, but later on I went and sewed a whole crotch panel in so that it wouldn't happen again.
Wow. Bad. You know when something's gonna happen till it happens.
Yeah.
And that's why everybody should always have a kit. Just a small bag, make sure it's easy, it's accessible, and then if not, you have the Paladins of Cosplay. So you have options. You can
find them.
So
I live kind of far away from all the conventions, so I feel like I was forced into always having some kind of kit because I usually have half my craft room with me in my trunk anyways, with a mirror and a light. I'm used to kind of getting ready in the car a little bit, depending on the drive. So
for anyone who does makeup, they sell them at Costco, but they have LED mirrors that have not only do they have they're compact, so they're super small, rechargeable, and they have 5 different light settings and a 10 times magnification and a regular magnification. Best $29.99 I ever spent my life.
Well, following that, let's end this with what advice would you give to cosplayers, novices especially, or someone new to cosplay?
You do not have to go broke to be a cosplayer. Please do not go into debt for cosplay. Do not be
so many alternatives.
It's okay, and the only advice other than that is just have fun, because if you're not, it stands for costume play for a reason. You're supposed to be having fun. It is just a way to show your love for a character, or for the costume, or for the craft, or whatever. It's not, it is a big deal if you make it a big deal, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
I would say
okay.
I would say to make your cosplay your cosplay. It doesn't matter if you want to be 100%, if you have to have every detail or every stitch, or if you want to do the bare minimum, as long as you're being your true self, or interpreting a character the best way that you know how, and embrace that character. That's all that matters.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'll piggyback off of that. It's basically as an artist, the only competition you should have is yourself. because I always look back. I always look back at my personal builds and my things. I was like, okay, so how can I elevate that? How can I make it better? You know what I mean? And then also at the same time, I am drawing inspiration from other cosplayers all the time. Like I'll see other cosplayers, I'll be like, oh, that's dope. I wonder how. And then I ask a million questions because how else are you going to get the information? Don't be afraid to ask questions. Like I will see somebody in their cosplay. I'm like, how did you do that? And you'll be surprised as a fellow artist. I'm like, oh my god, he actually wants to know how I did something, and they just start talking. And next, you're into a back and forth, and you're bouncing ideas off each other. And that's what I think a lot of people forget the process and the beauty of cosplay and being into this community is just connecting with other people and bouncing ideas off each other. And just like Harley said, don't go into debt doing this.
Yeah.
Like just don't, because remember at the same time you're doing this for fun, and don't try to chase trends thinking that, oh my god, I got to get this cosplay done because this movie just came out. Oh, I got to do this cosplay because the show just came out. Like
I unfortunately do that sometimes.
would just try your best to remember that it's for fun and that you're doing it for yourself, and your only competition is yourself.
Yeah.
And
I'd say,
talking shop is fun.
yeah, they go for it. Just go for it. Because it can be so intimidating, and it's like, oh, well, I can't. And it's like, you can in your way, like what Tay said. And like it all took us, we had to start somewhere to get where we're at today. And that's important to remember. And like you should be excited to like make little mistakes or be like, oh, I forgot this on the cosplay. And then you go, well, you know what? I know for next time. And now I could do this. Oh, I have a new, exciting idea. So just do it, have fun, and like feel awesome. Just remember that like the costume play, you're supposed to feel good and connect with others. And that's really all what this is about, and like letting your creativity like show through.
Yeah, and definitely picking a character that you are like really passionate about too, because I think I see a lot of comments from people that are scared to even try, but you need a character that's gonna like get you past that like mental block that you think you can't, because everybody starts somewhere. Like, especially with like social media, it's easy to see all these like amazing pictures and think, oh, I can't do that. But like, we can all show you a picture of our first cosplay, like where we started, even though we try to bury them and keep them off the internet, maybe. But everybody starts somewhere, and you just have to start.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Photoshop is real. Like, it's a lot of what you see on social media is not real.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that you just have to have courage and try new things. A lot of it is trial and error and all about learning, right? It's like Miss Frizzle says, take chances, make mistakes, get messy. That whole thing. So I take that to heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ali?
Yeah, just make sure like you stay true to yourself. Don't stress about this. Social media is a joke. If you try and fight Instagram, you're fighting a computer algorithm. Like, don't even try. I think people get lost in the popularity of it and wanting to, I don't know, get some sort of something out of this. But like well, we're just here to have fun. Like, we're just nerds at the end of the day who love these characters, and like they bring us some sort of joy. That's why we started doing this in the first place. So I think it's just remembering to hold on to that and don't get caught up in all the BS of this community, because there is crap in this community. But there is light too, and I think that's important to remember. So you just gotta stay true and stay humble, and you'll get through it. It's fun.
I think I needed that reminder.
I think like from myself, like I'm a casual cosplayer, but it does take a while to find your tribe. I think when you do find those people, it like that connection is so real. Just for new people that are coming into the community, unfortunately, I've seen a lot of people being taken advantage of by other cosplayers, and that's something like that's been addressed here in Toronto. I don't know how it's happening in the US as well, but a lot of people create these relationships in their minds with people, or try to like use them for shoots and stuff like that because they're new and they don't know much within the community. Just be aware. Speak to other cosplayers within the community as well. If you see there's a trend of a certain photographer or a certain cosplayer as well, just reach out to people and vet your photographers and who you're working with, and before you make any moves. So I think just be very vigilant on that front.
Yeah, some of these photographers are really full of themselves, and I'll be the first to knock them down.
The last thing I did want to just say, because I know I worry about this all the time, and I always remind myself, and I try to remind myself, and I try to remind everyone, it's okay if the cosplay is not ready by the con day. There will be another con. There will be another day.
No, I want to paint in my hotel room.
It is not.
I think we've all done that.
Mental health, whatever, it's okay. Like, you do not have to have a new costume for every con. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
At myself, but like also.
The deadline's only the deadline because you made it the deadline. Exactly. That's the only deadline.
I need that deadline, or it's never getting done.
But listen, guys, I'm gonna say this right now. A cosplayer's rite of passage is working on the cosplay the day before the con. I don't make the rules.
Day of.
Everybody must experience the con crunch.
That is your right. Once you get to that, you're official.
Yep, and it's also where's that comment? Yep, it's also okay to repeat your cosplays.
Oh yeah, totally.
How else are people gonna recognize you? That's what I keep
exactly.
And there's people
the amount
like
of money that you spend.
There's people like Julius that is known for like his Sub-Zero and his Blue Beetle right now. So
Sub-Zero, yeah.
I worked. I remember exactly. That's how people recognize you, because Katsucon last year, I didn't really tell people I was going to do Mihawk, so I kind of just showed up as Mihawk, and so many of my friends were like, they saw me post the pictures on my channel, and they was like, "That was you." And I was like, yeah. They was like, I walked past you like 4 times. I didn't know that was you. I'm like, all right, next time I'll announce it. I'm sorry, guys.
I mean, the amount of money that you spend on cosplays, you bet I'm going to be repeating that.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a good point there. There are some that I've spent like way too much on, and then I wear them maybe twice, and it's like, I guess I should have kept going.
I have a question.
Okay.
I have a question. Would you do a cosplay for a shoot that you weren't into?
I have.
Yeah, I have.
Because I found myself doing that for a previous shoot. I wasn't really into it. I did Deadpool. I'm not a real huge Deadpool fan. But have you guys done that? Have you guys cosplayed a character you weren't really into because of a shoot?
Absolutely.
I did that once, and I don't think I'm going to do it again.
Why not? I like it. I mean, it's more, again, like for me back home, it's like my friend group, we would all come up with an idea, and then sometimes like one person would come up with said idea. We take turns. So like someone would come up with an idea and they'd be like, I want you to come. And I'm like, I have nothing. I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, so I'd do research and I would make something because I want to spend time with my friends, right? And I mean, maybe it's the people pleaser in me. I'm not really sure. But at the end of the day, I learn about a new character or a new fandom, and I still get to have fun. So it's win-win, I guess.
Great. At least I don't feel alone.
Yeah.
I recently had a group shoot about 2 weeks ago, MK versus Injustice shoot, and I don't play the game, and I'm not really a DC person, but I just wanted to be part of the community because like there were a few cosplayers that I wanted to meet and network, and we end up having like this whole group, a whole connection, and I gained friends. But like I kind of stressed myself over that because I was trying to figure out what can I cosplay. So I ended up doing Supergirl, which I find annoying because I don't really like that character. But I just did it to be a part of the community because there were a lot of dope people there. So hey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there too.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be at that shoot, but my wife was in labor.
Oh,
Congratulations, congratulations, Julius.
Yeah, that I was supposed to be
Congratulations.
Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
congrats.
Yeah, I was supposed to be Sub-Zero at that shoot, but my wife was in labor that day.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
It was a great time.
It was a great time. Sorry you missed it.
I know, it's fine. It's just the birth of my child.
Priorities.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, everyone. Thank you guys all for being here tonight. For
Thank
everyone
you.
that's watching, commenting, make sure you guys subscribe, follow the channel. Yep. This podcast is also going to be on Spotify and all those major podcast platforms as well. Just want to thank you guys all for coming. If you guys want to shout out your Instagram handles or social media handles before we go,
Sure.
we'll go from left to right. So Harley, yeah.
I am Harley Knox Cosplay on everything. If you find me on Instagram, you'll find my beacons, and you can find me everywhere else. And yeah.
Beautiful.
My IG is Shake Your Fawn. It's really hard to like spell out, but yeah, it's Shake Your Fawn _ cosplays. I go by Tay. You can find me on Instagram and just Shake Your Fawn on TikTok.
I go by Sir Julius Cosplay across all platforms. I'm mainly on Instagram, so if you guys have any questions regarding 3D printing, EVA, foam, painting, whatever, I'm an open book. I have no secrets, so if you have any questions, just hit me up. I'll answer it to the best of my ability. And like I said, I'm always learning myself, so we're going to end up learning together.
Beautiful.
I'm SickKids Cosplay on pretty much all the platforms. I'm the most active on Instagram and TikTok. I live stream on TikTok as well as Twitch. And if you love talking about cosplay, I have like the cutest Discord community, and everybody is welcome.
Yay.
Cosplays by Shinobi, pretty much on TikTok and Instagram, mostly on Instagram. Yeah, I'm always there answering DMs, so hit me up.
Anthony, you can find my personal Instagram on my Cosplay Alliance account. Just wanted you guys to know that we're starting a new, me, Chris, Ali, and a few others that are in here. We're starting a new YouTube channel called Pop Culture Alliance, where we're going to be focusing more on movies, music, everything within Hollywood and entertainment industry, and using this Cosplay Alliance channel to focus mainly on cosplay. Yeah, so pretty much there. Make sure you check out our LinkedIn, our beacons, and follow everything that we're doing. I look forward to 2025.
Nice. I'm Ray Gray Cosplay. Pretty much on everything. If you can think it, it probably exists. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. Although I don't Twitch anymore, because I just can't. I don't have the time. I'm in school right now, so that's why I'm in this little dorm area. But yeah, I've been doing a lot more fashion related content lately, and I'm still trying to do the cosplay at the same time, so I'm kind of trying to like tie the two together if I can. But yeah, mostly Instagram and TikTok. Ray Gray Cosplay.
Thank you.
I'm Ali Cosplay on Instagram, and then I'm pretty sure my TikTok is Ali Creations, but I'm an old millennial and I don't know how to do anything, so I don't really post a lot on there. But I'm very active on Instagram. I will answer my DMs. I do a lot of different stuff with like crafting, 3D printing, sewing, painting, all that fun stuff. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to DM me, but I am also busy. I'm a mom of two, so if I don't get back to you right away, I'm not ignoring you. I just am probably knee-deep in a craft with them.
I go by Hey It's Lily on all platforms, and that is Lily, Lilly, and I'm on YouTube. That's like I have convention vlogs if you want to check that out. I'm a bit backlogged, but 2025 is like bam. So if you're interested in convention vlogs, especially like in the New York City scene, please go check that out. And I'm most active on Instagram as well.
I'll put that in the description, Lily.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I'll put everyone's tags and everything in the description below. So make sure you guys follow everyone on Instagram. Thank you all for coming. Hope you guys have a wonderful night. And until next
Thank you
time.
for having us.
Thanks for having us.
All right, guys.
It's really fun.
And drink water. Everybody drink water.
Drink
please.
water.
Drink water.
If If you're watching this episode on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and check out other episodes of the Cosplay Alliance podcast. The Cosplay Alliance podcast is also available in audio format on all major podcast platforms.